Hi guys, my name is Abid Imam and I'm part of team number 4 for Basic Engineering 1500. I'm going to explain our project to you today and hopefully you guys can understand what I say. So our project is about the NBA 2016-17 season. Our data set includes player stats such as points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, blocks per game, and much more. The reason why we chose this is because we are all interested in the sport basketball. I like to play it, and my teammates love watching the NBA, especially the playoffs, which is around the corner, in case anyone was wondering. And basically, what we want you to learn from our program are a few questions that we had ourselves, such as which team had the higher points per game, higher assists per game, higher rebounds per game, higher blocks per game, and also which team had the higher PER, which is a player efficiency rating, which is calculated based off all the other stats of that player, such as points, rebounds, and blocks. Also, we added in two other options to our menu, which allowed you to predict the winner of a matchup between two teams which you input. So if you input two teams, you'll be able to find out which team would win. We also had another option that would allow you to see advanced stats, um, which includes analyzing two different graphs, and I will show you that right now. I will show you all of those options right now. So bear with me while I go to MATLAB and run our code. So let's just CLC clear this and run our code. Oh my god, my bad. It's right here. So clear one more time and run. You're gonna hear some music from the season. This music is from the 2008 NBA season. This is a theme song, I believe. Um, this basically is a part of our code which describes to you what our program does. It tells you what you can do with our program, um, and it gives you a list of valid teams to choose from. So these are all the valid teams right here. And then it gives you a menu right here, which allows you to select which stat you'd like to compare or look at. So let's look at points real quick first. So points was coded on the basis of a nested for loop, which basically took into consideration the team and the points column from our data set. So basically what happens is it analyzes the team that you input, two teams, and it adds up all the points for that team, all the players' points for that team, and the one with the higher sum basically wins this stat. So in this case, let's see which team had the higher points per game. So in this case, the team with the highest points per game were the Lakers, and they had a 117.43 average. So once that is done, we have another code that basically indexes into our data set and displays the player, team, and points column for the team with the higher points per game. So since the Lakers had the higher points per game in this case, our table shows all the players on the Lakers roster and it shows their points in descending order using a descend command, which is a built-in MATLAB command. So that's that, and I'm going to move on to another stat. Let's move on. Yes, let's go to assists real quick. Assists is also coded in a similar way using a nested for loop. A nested for loop, the nested for loop does the same thing, except in this case what do we use? We use the assists column instead of the points column. So we choose from the menu over here if we should do one or two teams. Let's do two teams. I choose the Lakers once again because I'm a Lakers fan, and let's use the Bulls. In this case, the Bulls average more assists, and then we have a pie chart that pops up showing you which team had how much percentage of the assists each team had. So in this case, the Bulls had 51% of the assists, while the Lakers had a 49% of the assists. This is another form of displaying data as well as the table you saw previously. Move on and continue analyzing data. Let's go to rebounds. Rebounds is pretty much the same thing, but I forgot to mention that at the beginning of each user-defined function, we have a while loop which basically compensates in case the user inputs an invalid team. So if the user inputs an invalid team, such as this, the while loop basically makes sure that the user basically prompts the user to enter a valid team and gives them a list of all the valid teams that you can choose from. And this keeps happening until the user selects two valid teams. So I'm going to just do that real quick so we don't waste any more time. And in this case, the Bulls average more rebounds per game. Continue analyzing data. Let's go to blocks. So in this category, the coding is the same, except in this case, obviously, we use the blocks column instead of the points or instead of the other rebounds or assists columns. So we choose two teams once again, and we go with Lakers. Let's switch it up to Suns. All right, let's do this. The Suns average more blocks per game. Continue analyzing data. Yes. So those four are pretty similar in terms of coding, and then we move on to these three options on our menu. So just the best to prevent the rest is one of my favorite because it allows you to see a stat leader. So there will be a menu that pops up in a few seconds, allowing you to select a specific stat, like whatever points, and it tells you which player averaged the most points during that season. So Russell Westbrook was the season leader. He had 31.58 points per game, and this is a small little video showing Russell Westbrook scoring. Let's move on. Continue analyzing data. Yes, let's move on to advanced stats. Advanced stats basically allows people who like analyzing data to have a chance to answer their questions. So you can check from this option. You have a pop-up menu right here, allowing you to see PER, player efficiency rating, which takes into consideration all the stats of a player and uses a formula to calculate which player had the highest efficiency. And this option right here allows you to analyze the graphs of the statistics in the NBA, such as points, points per game, rebounds, blocks, and etc. And then this last one, which is one of my favorite, is predict the winner, where it allows you to input two teams, and then it'll tell you which team would win in show off. So let's do it. Let's do Lakers versus Warriors. Pretty sure we know who's gonna win. Winner between the Lakers and the Warriors would be the Warriors, obviously. Anyway, let's continue. Um, the last thing that we have are field goal percentage and turnover comparison. This basically allows you to see the field goal and turnover percentages. So let's do this real quick. Let's do Lakers and Bulls, since those are my. So the Lakers have a higher field goal percentage average. Again, this code is basically a formula using a bunch of wild and nested loops. And then we have over here that the Bulls have a lower turnover per game average. That's pretty much it in terms of what our code can do and what our program can do. So once you have had your satisfaction of analyzing data, you can select no. I do not like to analyze data. And basically, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Shout out to Dr. Tonya Whitehead, Shelby, and all the other team mentors who helped us out. Um, that's LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, two GOATs of their era. Um, Basically, at the end of the program, you can select if you'd like to play a video. I'm not going to do it because we don't have time. It could be a short or long video. It's just basically a video of great players playing. So that's about it, guys. Basically, what helped me a lot in this project, what this project taught me, was that this project taught me a lot about MATLAB in the sense that I learned how to work better with for loops, user-defined functions, nested loops, and also, since it was exam 2 around the corner during the project, it taught me how to incorporate the outputs of a certain function as inputs for a different function. The reason why we coded our script the way we did was because we wanted to show the different ways MATLAB can basically convert data into different data types, and we also use the conversion of into a table array a lot. Furthermore, we coded this way because we wanted the user to see and have options to select which data they wanted to extrapolate in that way that we used. Um, that's about it, guys. And thank you for watching. Thank you for paying attention. And see you guys later.